Hello everybody, how you doing? This is Rebel Gamer and I'm Muhammad, your host for this podcast. Today we're gonna be talking about High Sea Hero, one of the recent games from Century Games Studio. Basically, the game is following their idle games in the past, but this game has some special and interested twists in their idle mechanics. So stay with me and let's jump right into it. So as the game starts, we'll basically seeing this lady coming up, tell you a bit of a story, what's happening, you're the captain, blah blah blah. And you have to start forging new items for your ship right here. Okay, I'm gonna equip it, obviously, there is no other choice. The overall look and feel of the game is actually Legend of Mushroom. So as you can see, these two UXs are very similar. An automatic battle is happening on top. You have to start gathering or forging, in this case, new item for your battleship, and you have to continue forging new items, selling the bad one, equipping the better one. At this point, let's continue. I'm gonna switch to my real account right now, but I want you to have this gameplay and have this current state of the game very carefully in your mind. Okay, this is my main account, level 63. So let's start the game. After some point, when you unlock all the features in the game, there are so many things that will be happening for you on the game. Number one, as you unlock and level up in the game, there will be so many stuff on the top of the page. As you can see, I have events, I have sales, store, inventory, mail. These are normal stuff. But on the other hand, I have this balloon, arena, expeditions, wheels, tasks. So each of these on the left will have different sections, and at some points they have also different mechanics. So for example, this balloon thingy will basically take you to a forex map, which you can explore, see other players. Actually, it's here, right on the right. So High Zero is not just an idle automatic battler or idle combat game, a regular one. As you progress, and by progress I mean maybe, for example, um, 20 minutes or 25 minutes. After that, you will see these features gradually unfold for you. So you have access to this world map, which is like a forex map. You have access to your guild, to other players. There are monsters that you can go and basically extract resources from. That is one part of the game. Obviously, you have the guild, which act like your team, your clan features. The social aspect of the game is right here. You can help other players here. You can join battles like this and, earn your rewards. Let me do a battle right now. Again, the battles are all happen on automatic basis. You can help the team, your guild, on these tech in order to progress on this skill tree or whatever. Let me go back to the other section. So that was the world, that's the guild, the second one. Obviously, as you progress in the game, you have access to two things in order to upgrade. Number one, your weapons on your ship. You have different levels and rarity of your weapons which you can deploy, and you have different heroes. And of course, there is also a path specifically for your ship. Another aspect that is very interesting, and that's also another point that makes this game really unique, is this page, cabin page. As you're seeing here, probably most of you remember Fallout Shelter game, especially the UI of it. Yep, here. So the UI and the UX of this part of the game cabin is, I'm not gonna say exactly, but it has so similarity to it. On the other side, if you've played previously Whiteout Survival or Frozen City, you notice the mechanics and the gameplay of only this section, the cabin section, is exactly like that game. So you have a main engine room which provides you the power to run all of the ship and the temperature. You have access to this switch to turn it on or off, have an overload or not. These two options will require, different consumption of this resource here. You can upgrade your engine room. In order to upgrade, you have these requirements. This UX is exactly like what's happening on Whiteout Survival. So in that game also, as you tap on other places, you have access to upgrade them, hire new resources for them, and once they cap and they maximize, you have to upgrade the main part of the game, which in this case, I'm talking about the engine room. A mixture of Legend of Mushroom, you have your idle combat, your idle battles, your ship to upgrade, you have your weapons, your heroes, everything that's related to your ship. On the other hand, you have this cabin section, which you have workers, you have automations, you have resource extraction. Within that cabin part, you can also go into your Forex map and start, searching for resources, for monsters to kill and hunt down. All right, so this is the High Zero game in a very nutshell. In summary, automatic idle battles, Rex map at some point when you reach, for example, higher levels, and you have access to the cabin, which is mechanics and gameplay like Whiteout Survival or Frozen City, those kind of games. And they really mixed all of these, I would say, three games or three gameplays together in a very neat and subtle way. As a normal user, as you start playing the game, especially like someone like me that's more like a casual user, I didn't feel like that I'm getting into this X game or these other types of the game. They all happen so naturally that you just playing the game, clicking here and there, upgrading your stuff, doing the battles here and there, and trying to upgrade your battleship. That's it. You do not ever feel like that, okay, I'm playing a Forex game right now. It's not a simple idle battle game anymore. And that is what makes this game a very unique game currently in the market. You have Forex, you have, Legend of Mushroom in a nutshell, and also you have the other mechanics from Whiteout Survival. So these three together. Let's dive into the other parts of the game. Like, I want to talk about their live ops, and then we're gonna talk about their monetization. First, let's talk about their live ops. So in this adventure part, the main page of the game, okay, here they are. Obviously, like all the other games, they have their customized offers. Let's talk about the other things. So right now they have this Spring Festival for Lunar Year. The interesting thing about this is they actually have a different mechanic. It's kind of like social casino. So you can increase your multiply to 5. As I hit this button, it's, again, it's a simple clicker, but the mechanic is different. So on your core gameplay, you have those idle mechanics to upgrade, click, or tap and hold in order to maximize something. Here in the live ops, they are actually introducing something else that is basically important. When you try to create a live ops for your game, it's always better to introduce a different mechanic to your gameplay, not something that's totally different. I'm not talking about, obviously, for example, bring in a shooter mechanic or shooter, UX into your live ops or event, especially a temporary one, but Considering your main mechanics and your main interaction types, you can always introduce something new, something that break that boredom of your repetition in the core loop. So that is basically, I would say, a perfect example of it. In your core gameplay or basically all the other parts of the game, you are just tapping here and there, upgrading stuff. But here at this point, there was this slider. I had to, make sure I will hit that green part. Then I would grab the fish. I have to balance my touching here so the fish will not escape. So again, it's something really interesting as a live ops. And the other part of it, which is really powerful, is the whole economy around this only lunar festival. It has its own lucky wheel with its own currency and progression. It has its own store. So as you gain different tokens like these red packets, you can exchange them for these different items in the game. Let's dive into their expedition. So within the expedition, there are how many? 4 different types of battles. Each of these battles requires their own entry ticket, and there is this polar flux which happens on a specific time, so you have to be online for this specific event. Where can I find those passes? Is it here? These are daily deals. I'm not talking about these are also related to live ops. As you can see, there are so many options for you. Weekly specials, I think it's here. Perk pass, I think so. Now let's talk about their monetization. So as you may have noticed, this game is combining the two ads and also in-app purchases. Um, there is no, in terms of in-app ads, there is no interstitial in the game, at least so far. I haven't seen any interstitial for this game. The only ads that are being used are rewarded ads. So as you run out of your expedition tickets, so for example, for this pirates rare, you can watch ads. Somehow, so many of their ad places do not work. I'm not sure, maybe they're just putting these for testing purposes and see how many players would click on them. I don't know. But this is one place for the rewarded videos. Another place for that, I think it was where we were trying to draw more cards here. It is actually green. Let's see an ad. Okay, and this is also weird. They're showing their own game. So, yeah, as I was talking about it, I think they just put these rewarded ads in order to test whether users are going to click them or, measuring the potential of it. So that's another place. Of course, you have that also for heroes. Again, you see, for example, for weapons, it's activated, but for heroes, it's not. And maybe, for example, some developers would say, wait for the ad to get loaded. Trust me, it's never get loaded. So yeah, that's another place. The other place is actually in the cabin. So you see here, I wanted to upgrade my smelting room. You can watch rewarded ads in order to speed it up. Again, it's not working. And again, don't get me wrong, it's not because I'm using BlueStack on my system. I've tested it on my Android device, on my iOS device, also other players. It's not working. So yeah, it's another one. There is another place in the main menu which didn't happen right now for me to show you guys, but it was actually a golden bee holding a sack of gems, and it's basically flying on the main screen, and as you click on it, you had this opportunity to see a rewarded video and get those gems. So those are, I think, most important places of the rewarded videos for this game, and I already showed you the in-app purchases for this game. So that's regarding the monetization and also live ops. So yeah, I think that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in, for staying until this part of the video. This was the first episode of Rebel Gamer. I appreciate your support, your feedback. If you have any feedback, please comment it down below and let me know your thoughts. Stay safe. See you in the next episode.